Oh my goodness. All right, so I am once again going to just get started and pretend that there are people on here right now. I've already done. I just finished editing them. A couple of videos on modes um, that I'm gonna upload, but I figured I should do a live stream just to do a live stream because it's Wednesday and I didn't even know it was Wednesday until a few minutes ago. So I'm going to just put it out there. The biggest thing that I see with especially older students, beginner, intermediate players, is they have these questions about modes and they want to go from like zero to Jocko in, and like that. So what I want you to do is slow down. I want you to slow down. Here's the thing that to know about modes. We take the key of C major. That's going to be our parent key, our parent scale, right? Um, the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If I start that scale from the second note of the scale, I have another mode. If I start that scale from the next note, I have another mode. Now you notice that I wasn't able to play the octaves of both of those, uh, the second and third mode in this position, and that's okay. I'm going to show you a fingering later on, but right now, what we want to know is this is the first mode, the major scale. It's the first mode. We'll call the first note of the scale the parent scale. Everything is going to come from that, right? So if you think of, like, in this case, C major as being mom and dad, right? And then you have the first child, which is Dorian. We'll give that child a name, Dorian. That's the emo offspring, emo, right? Then we have another child or mode, and we'll call that child Phrygian. That'll be that child's name, that kid's name. That kid is also a little emo. And then we got another kid, Lydian. Lydian is the happy kid, right? Then we got Mixolydian. Let's say Lydian and Mixolydian are twins, fraternal twins. And then we've got Aeolian. That's another emo kid, dark and emotional. And then we got that kid Locrian, who's just, a little cockeyed, little weird. That's so bad. Somebody's gonna put a hateful comment in the box, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's a jerk." Stay with me. I'm just talking about illustration. So we have the parent scale, and then we've got all these kids that come out of the scale, right? Um, no. I just started. As I said when I started before, I didn't even know today was Wednesday. Like, I really found out today was Wednesday a couple of minutes ago, and it's good and late in the afternoon. So anyway, so what I was saying at the very beginning is that what a lot of people don't want to do is get to know the shapes. Like, really get to know the shape. So if you, here's one fingering for our parent scale. Well, what is the DNA of that parent scale? What makes that scale what it is? A root, a major second, a major third, perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a major sixth, a major seventh, and a perfect octave, right? So the homework that I want you to do is, if you can't do this already, this is what I want you to do. And if you want to take a video of yourself playing it and send it to me, I'll look at it and I'll help you out if you're struggling. But you want to turn stuff off. You want to turn the phone off, the TV off, everything. I was being silly in the beginning, but I'm very serious now. Watch this hand. Every note came out nice and clear. These fingers alternated. I never played two notes with the same finger, right? That's what I want you to be able to do. Now, there's two places that we're going to address this shape of C major. One is at the 3rd fret of the A string, and the other is at the 8th fret of the E string. Why? Because if I want to play the next mode, right? If I want to play the next mode here, here's C major. The next mode is going to be Dorian, the 2. So the 2, the chord associated with that is going to be the minor chord or the minor 7 chord. All right? So that would be the mode or the arpeggio that you would play against that against a minor chord functioning as the 2. But if I play that here like this, I can only get up to the flat 7. I can play the root, the major second, the minor 3rd, perfect 4th, minor 6th, perfect 5th, major 6th, and the flat 7, but I can't play the octave unless I shift. So that's how we come up with a different fingering for this mode here. Dorian, which would be the first kid out of this in this family, right? So the first kid, Dorian. Let's say I started with my first finger. Root, major second, minor 3rd, perfect 4th. What I did just there was I did what's called a compression shift, and I still played the 4th with my first finger. I played the 5th with my 4th finger so that I could shift here to the major 6th with my first finger. So let me show you that real slow. Now I can hit the octave of that Dorian mode. But watch this. If I go down to the next string, there's the root of the parent scale, C major. So if I start here from C, now I have another fingering for C major. See what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is really take your time with these notes and play them slowly. Blame it on that. Slowly so you can go all, and I don't know what I'm saying, but you feel me, right? I'm being silly. So there's my parent scale. And here's Dorian. Now I'm only going to talk about Ionian and Dorian in this video because what I'd like for you to do is take those two shapes. Here's one shape for Ionian. And Dorian, here's a shape for Dorian. And I want you to play those, practice those really slowly. The fingering, let me call out the fingering right now for Dorian. It's going to be 1, 3, 4. 1, 4. 1, 2, 4. All right, so remember in the beginning though when I was saying that I could start that Dorian from my pinky? Well, let's view the major scale from the 8th fret of the E string. Look at how much more I can get of that scale if I play Dorian now starting from the pinky. See what I'm saying? Now I've got 2 fingerings for Ionian. I have 2 fingerings for Dorian. There's our parent scale right there. See what I'm saying? So now I know that in the key of C, but how would that work in the key of, let's say, G major? Well, here's G major. And I'm playing all the notes available to me in the key of G major in that 4 fret range, as deep as the neck is. Dorian. Okay? And I'm still playing all those notes because when I'm of the mind that when we're soloing or anything like that, we can think of one mode individually, or we could just think of the whole scale as a sound. You know what I mean? So here's G major, one octave here, and I play Dorian. I could still play Dorian here because I already learned this fingering. See what I'm saying? Ionian, Dorian. Now I'm playing it fast, right? But I want you to play it slow. Again, I just finished editing some videos and I'm putting together their PDFs. I can't believe I didn't know it was Wednesday until just a few minutes ago. That's insane. Some of you guys know I'm a school teacher. It's the end of the year, trying to get kids to do tests online and all that stuff. Whew. It's a trip. So there's the key of G. We did C. We did G. So since we went to G, we're going in fifths, right? So what's the key a fifth away from G? It's going to be the key of D. So D, I can look at D here at the 5th fret of the A string. There's Ionian. Here's Dorian. Sorry. And also get the sound. Get the sound. Da, 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 da. there's D. It's right there. So automatically, just by taking two modes, you still got to think about Ionian as a mode. Even though it's the parent scale, it is a mode, right? It is still a mode. So here's D major. We learned just by taking a couple of shapes, we've already figured out how to move laterally across the neck in a way that we might not have expected before. So here's D major. Here's E Dorian, because E is the second note of D. It's going to be the second second mode. The chord associated with it is going to be a minor 7 chord or a minor chord. All right, when I say minor, I'm talking about a triad, 3 notes. If I say minor 7, I'm talking about 4 notes. All right. That was a horrible shift I did just there. Okay, so we're taking shapes. And just going back and forth. And right now I know I'm in the key of D. I'm just doing back and forth those two shapes, right? So if this is D here, I know this shape because we just talked about it, right? Second mode. Here's E Dorian. Here's D Ionian. See what I'm saying? I'm not really looking at the comment. I usually look at the chat on the computer over here, but I don't have it hooked up, and like my phone is right there, and I really can't see it. So what's the next key away from the key, a fifth away from D? This is going to be the key of A. Fingering 2 4 1 2 4 1 3 4 1 3 4 3 1 4 3 1 4 2 1 4 2. I'm calling out the fingers and not the scale degrees. Right? So we can go up one, down the other. Up Ionian, down Dorian. And I'm only giving you the 2. I'm only talking about the 2 right now, right? The 2 modes. What's the key a fifth away from A? It's going to be the key of E. So just because I want to just talk about closed fingerings right now, we'll go to E here. Where's Dorian? And watch this. Key of E. Key of E. D Dorian. Or F sharp Dorian. Sorry. What's the fifth away from E? Key of B. B, C sharp Dorian. away from B. It's going to be a key of F sharp. Whereas what's Dorian in the key of F sharp? It's going to be the key of G sharp. I'm sorry. It's going to be G sharp Dorian. So I'm taking away, now that I have the shapes, you know, I know some people are pretty anti-shape. I'm not anti-shape. I'm just not. Because if it's a tool for you to use, then use it, right? Don't let it be a crutch. But if it's a tool, just use the tool. You know, if you had a job that you could use a hammer for, but you just needed to use a screwdriver, but you had a hammer, that's on you. You feel me? But now, if I take the time with the shape, right, then I can move around. I could move around a little bit more freely, in my personal opinion. Okay. Another thing you could do. So back to this whole homework business. Record yourself, man. I can't get to them all right away, but if you record yourself and you want to shoot me an email, you could do it through like use Google Drive or something. Shoot a short clip of you playing, send it to my email via the website sonofabass.com, and I'll take a look at it. So let's move that major scale shape in fourths. So we'll take Ionian, just Ionian. We'll start at C. This is one of my favorite exercises. We'll start on C at the 8th fret of the E string. 1 octave, and we'll go in fourths. Well, what's a fourth away from C? F. What's a fourth away from F? It's going to be B flat, but instead of playing B flat here, because we don't have the real estate with an extra string, so we're going to go down to B flat here. So we've got C, F, B flat. Okay, take your time. You want to be able to call out these keys as you go along. E flat, A flat, and I call them out before I get to them. D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and then C. Now I'm playing it fast. I use fast in air chords because it wasn't really fast, but it may be fast for some. I'm playing it that quickly only for the sake of time, not so you can do that. You want to do this. Clear notes and right notes. F. See what I'm saying? But if I did that, it would take forever. So now that I've done that, what about Dorian mode for each one of those keys? I was trying to tell you something and lost my train of thought. wanted to tell you where I kind of got a brain freeze at was I'm playing Dorian of each one of those keys. But I'm not, what I'm not doing is I'm not playing C Dorian. I'm not playing F Dorian. Because if I'm playing C Dorian, what is the parent key? The parent key is B flat. If I'm playing F Dorian, what's the parent key? The parent key is E flat. So what I was playing was D Dorian, key of C, G Dorian, key of F, C Dorian, key of B flat, F Dorian, key of E flat, B flat Dorian, key of A flat, E flat Dorian, key of D flat, A flat Dorian, key of G flat, D flat Dorian, key of C flat, or if I call it C sharp Dorian, key of B, F sharp Dorian, key of E, B Dorian, key of A, E Dorian, key of D, A Dorian, key of G, and then D Dorian back to the key of C. So that's a lot of information. I don't want to blow your brain up too much, but I just wanted to give you two modes instead of trying to cram all the modes down into one video. I think that it is very important to take things in very, very small bite-sized chunks. I heard Todd Johnson say something one time, and I've borrowed it and I've used it ever since. It's a corny joke, and it makes a lot of sense. How do you eat a chicken? The same way that you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. I love that saying. It's something that I've used with my students, both in schools, private-based lessons, etc. So what I want you to take from this, you have a parent scale, okay? What's good? Got here late, but I'm here. Good to see you. Good to see you. You have a parent scale. And then the modes are derived from that scale. They come from that scale. You could think of one, the parent scale as being the parent, and then all of the other modes or scales that come out of that as being like offspring, right? And of course, each one of those scales has a corresponding arpeggio, right? I did not talk about arpeggios. I talked about shapes. So when I close out here and keep this video live on YouTube, you can go back. I have edited some videos. I'm putting together the PDFs so you'll have them. There's a lot of information on modes on YouTube and cyberspace, and I'm not saying that my way of teaching it or showing it is better than anyone else's. We've all had every one of us watching, me and everyone else, all have had different teachers, and they all taught us 2 + 2 equals 4. So, whoever taught you that in a way that you understood it, good for them. So, hopefully this demystifies the first two modes, Ionian and Dorian. Okay? So, I'm sorry, guys. My eyes are so bad. I'm looking at my phone right now, so I can't really... let me see. Let me see if I can see this. Yeah, man, I can't even see the chat. Let's see. What does perfect mean? Well, let's talk about it. What does perfect mean? Hold on one second. Um, so when we have intervals, let's take let's go key of B flat. Okay, so here's my root. Here's my scale shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So I have a root. From there, I have a major second. From here, from the root here, I have a major third. Now, fourths, fifths, and octaves are all perfect. I like to say because they are the same in major. I'm sorry, in a major chord as they are in minor. They don't really change unless they're augmented or diminished. But they're always called perfect. Like you'll never have a minor fourth or a major fourth or anything like that. And shit, man, why they call them perfect, I don't know. They just are. Uh, they just are. So unless they are augmented or diminished, okay. And I'm okay with saying shit. They just are. I'm okay with that. I think one of the most freeing things in the world to say is I don't know, and I'm gonna say I used to know, but I can't recall at the moment. But fourths and octaves, fourths, fifths, and octaves are always called perfect. Now let's say I have, let's say I call this B flat Dorian. The third change, the fourth is the same, the fifth is the same. Let's say I have B flat Phrygian. Fourth is the same, fifth is the same. Let's say I have now if I have B flat Locrian, the five is diminished. It's flattened. I ain't getting into all that because I only wanted to give y'all two modes, Ionian and Dorian. So again, take your time, get the sound of that. Don't try to use it. Don't try to use it. Don't try to make solos out of it. Don't try to play songs with it right now. Get the shit out of your fingers. I'm cussing a lot this week. Cause I'm going crazy off this quarantine. It's starting to get to me, y'all. It's starting to get to me. I do have a rehearsal on Friday though that I need to go shed for, because in this whole thing I've done two live streams. I've done two live stream gigs. I did a benefit that was sanctioned by the city of New Orleans, and I'm doing another live stream thing at the House of Blues next week. So I have to shed for that. But God, I am so ready for this crap to be over with. You guys, that's my super quick live stream talking about Ionian and Dorian. Take your time, practice them. I hope you dug it. Thanks to the homies at No Trouble, Kevin, Corey. Appreciate you cats. I'm gonna sign off. I also have some schoolwork to do. Stay safe, y'all. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. All right. I will catch you guys next time. I'll probably go live again Monday, unless I feel like going live again. You know, any time in between there. Today's Wednesday. All right, y'all. Peace.